I'm sorry.
He represents all of us, and he's got Democrats and progressives and independents that he represents. He doesn't represent just part of the district.
Exactly.
He represents all of us, and it doesn't matter what our political, or even if we're not a political persuasion. He needs to represent everyone, and hear, at least hear everyone. So,
Exactly.
You're here.
I will come back for the next event.
we need to
Next time you call us, I'm going to come back. So if they can find something that fits in his schedule, I'll be here, and I hope you do. How do we find you to know when the next event is?
Yeah.
And he is on a campaign trail. He's up for election in what, 17 months?
Right.
He's doing donor things. But we need to kick back on that, because that's a common response right now, is they're saying they don't want to go to, angry partisan groups. We need to kick back on that. We are not a partisan group. We are a constituent group.
We're Minnesotans. What's he scared of?
Exactly.
They've all got the same talking points about this. And, right. And I told Jack Dwyer that yesterday when I was in there. I said, I've never done this before. I've never been this politically involved in my life. And, nobody's paying me, and nobody's paying any of these people. And you just need to be responsive and talk to people who have concerns and issues. I mean, there's a lot of concerning things going on in Washington, and he's our connection. He's our connection.
Yep.
So, how about we get started with some questions? I did collect a couple, but I think some of you have other questions that you maybe want to just come up and ask. Would you like to just come up and ask your question in front of the group, and we'll get it on video?
Sure.
You want to do that? Sir, did you want to start?
Sure.
Since you just handed me your card. You can use the... Should I use the megaphone?
So, my biggest concern is the unpredictability of Donald Trump and his ability to launch nuclear war. And so, I'd like to see Congress reassert its power to prevent unusual presidential behavior.
Okay, who else just handed me their card? Somebody just handed you? Did you want to ask your question?
Mine is very similar, but I could ask another question.
Okay.
It's on. It's already on. You can just,
Okay. Obviously, I'm a constituent. I have proof. I have proof that I'm a constituent. And one of the things I'm really concerned about is citizens and legitimate visa holders being harassed at our borders and not allowed to come in. So I would like to know what's being done about that.
Yay!
Right, you gave me your card.
Hi. So I'm probably similar to a lot of you here. I have a lot of concerns about the possible repeal of the Affordable Care Act. I have a pre-existing condition, my son has a pre-existing condition, and even though I have really good private health insurance through my employer, I'm really worried at what this is going to mean for my private insurance and whether my son and I can continue to get coverage.
You don't have to press anything.
Okay, I guess I have a lot of the same concerns that's already been mentioned, but I guess another big concern of mine is I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and my 3-year-old has a speech delay, language processing disorder, and she is taken care of by the Farmington School District Special Ed program. She goes to a special preschool that's just there and there's no private preschool that has an alternative program. They don't exist. All the doctors at the U and everything have told me this. Second, she's in private therapy through my private insurance. So that's a pre-existing condition depending on, how long it takes her to catch up. Also, my husband has a liver condition. He might need a liver transplant in about 15, 20 years. So, I'm scared about that. So education and health, but also, I don't understand what's so hard about starting to investigate Russia. I don't understand. I don't understand how that's even a partisan issue either.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I care. I'm starting to get active. I'm 32 years old, but because I care about my children. I care about my children's future. I just brought them into this world. So
You're here.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
With Trump barring press from the White House. I would like to know where you stand on our First Amendment right.
Anyone else have an issue or question that they'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I would like to ask Representative Lewis that, as a strong proponent of states' rights, is he in favor of public anything? Is he in favor of public health care, public transport, public education, or is it everything supposed to be privatized? That's what I would like to ask him.
Representative Lewis, are you interested in dividing us or uniting us? If you're interested in uniting us, stop labeling these town hall and other meetings and groups going to your office as partisan events, because we are people, we're human beings first and foremost. We are all your constituents, and please remember that. You represent all of us, not just some of us, and the far majority of us did not vote for you.
Thank you so much.
Congressman Lewis, you need to investigate the White House's obstruction of justice in interfering with the FBI's investigation of the Russia affair. I think you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't,
Google it.
Read the paper. Just resign.
Read the paper.
Representative Lewis, I'd like to speak to the cold-heartedness of turning your backs on the trans community, on the gay, lesbian community, and look to you to show the heart that our state stands for and that we're looking for is a government to come forward and protect all of our people.
Hi, Mr. Lewis. I have a concern about the food stamps and the ability to keep them at their current levels by not block granting them. If you could consider that, I think the gentleman from the 6th District heard about it this past week a little bit. And also I'm concerned about possibility of alternative electricity generation, and happy to provide any information about that we can provide.
Anyone else have something they'd like to say, like to add to the discussion or ask a question?
Mr. Lewis, I just talked to you on Facebook and Twitter, and I just want to let you know, as a Republican and a conservative, I've never voted Democrat in my life. And you were on the WCCO radio the other day, and something hinted at me really, just hit me really profoundly. And you said something about an elected official should be held responsible and accountable. And then yet, here you are not being held accountable and responsible to your own constituents. I live in Savage, Minnesota. I am a constituent, and I'm extremely disappointed in your actions thus far. So, start showing up, or you're going to make me vote Democrat for the first time in my life.
Did you want to speak about health care a little bit? You feel free. It's just us. We're your people.
I would like Representative Lewis to give up his health care if he takes ours away.
Representative Lewis, my name is Pam, and I have a daughter who's severely disabled that I took care of for 25 years at home. And now the proposals that your party has in Washington, D.C. would cut Medicaid, which takes care of my daughter and many others with disabilities, as well as seniors. And now when we're going to have the largest number of seniors we've ever had in our population at one time, you're backing off from Medicaid coverage. And I just want to know why you're doing that, and will you stand up for the people in your community who are the most vulnerable?
Hello, I'm in the district, and I've called several times in the past week and not been given a straight answer about where Representative Lewis stands on the recent bill to eliminate the Environmental Protection Agency. I find that very disturbing. In Minnesota, we love our lakes, clean air, and we have a daughter. I'd like to make sure that it stays that way for the future generations.
Am I missing anyone else? Thank you so much. Would you come stand over here?
Sure.
The light's better.
Representative Lewis, I just want to say that I'm a fiscal conservative, but I'm a social liberal, and I don't want one child to go without food, one person to go without housing. I don't want one veteran to miss out on his health care. So let's stand up for the little people and let big business take care of themselves.
I would like to say that I think that education in this country is very important, and having the current Secretary of Education would be disastrous to all of the children in the next generation, and especially special education children. Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, please investigate Trump being blackmailed by the Russians.
Yes! Anything we haven't covered, or any more comments?
Hello, Mr. Lewis. My name is Jake Cassidy. I live in Apple Valley. 2 years ago, my family moved here from California because I grew up here and was a product of the public education system. That benefited me tremendously, and I have a 12-year-old daughter who I would like to see it continue to benefit. So I would like to see you take steps to protect our public schools and fight for all of those children.
My name's Phil, and my big concern is recently with Trump trying to limit the freedom of press.
Yes.
My concern is anything that tries to get turned into a law or a regulation, I expect you to oppose it.
Yes.
That is the most basic right we've got, and it's how we find out what's going on there so that we can exercise all our other rights.
Yes.
Have I missed anyone? I wanted everyone to have a chance to say what they came to do today.
I'll take a turn.
Oh, perfect. We'll get yours next
Okay.
then. Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, my name is David Young. I live in Burnsville. I am one of your constituents, and I would like to see Mr. Trump compelled to expose his tax returns to us.
Yes.
Jason Lewis, my name is Kathy Peregrino. I'm from Farmington, Minnesota, and in addition to all of the concerns that have been voiced here, I would also like to ask you what your stance is on children's nutrition as associated with the education funding. Children cannot learn if they do not have good nutrition, and I understand there are cuts proposed to the nutrition programs. So I would like to ask you how you will address that. And I would also like you to address what your stance is on alternative forms of energy. Thank you.